Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, November 17th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I embrace the empowering flow of my divine responsibility. And today we have our third and final for this year, Mercury, Uranus opposition. And whew, I'm definitely having a Mercury-Uranus opposition moment as I was sitting here just feeling through the astro, just so much so much insight came through. So today, while building to this opposition between Mercury in Scorpio and Uranus in Taurus, and thinking about the Lilith conjunction with the Uranus, I came back and circled back around to something that I've mentioned before. There are many people that I know that believe that original sin has very little to do with Adam and Eve and an apple, and that has a lot more to do with the rejection of the feminine, which came with Lilith, the story of Lilith. Basically, Lilith, definite Mimi paraphrasing here, Lilith was like, hey, this is who I am, this is how I need to do things according to my soul, and Adam allegedly didn't like that, so Lilith was like, peace out, I'm out. That's why I always say Lilith energy is like where you can go your own way. And even in that rejection of the yin, the feminine, Lilith energy, aligning with her soul rather than aligning with somebody else's rules or energy, that was original sin, because that's where we started the suppression of that yin energy, which has been going on for a very long time, obviously, right? So with Lilith conjunct Uranus, there is this call to liberate, free that energy within all of us. And let me just stop and say that it's not just Lilith. You know, you don't have to take her as your role model. It's people like Mary Magdalene. It's people like Joan of Arc. And it doesn't even have to be in the female form, the female body. Those people, renegades, I have that song playing through my head, Renegades of Funk. The renegades, the people who have dared to honor that soul calling, those are the people who are breaking through that original sin. And I feel like our world will not truly shift until each and every single one of us is willing to know our soul on that level, to know that Lilith energy within us, to know that calling where you're called to walk to the beat of your own drum, and then embrace it. But even just to know it, just even to, be willing to know it is a huge step, because it has been suppressed for so many lifetimes. And that's what was coming through so strongly with this opposition. Wow, that was a major brain fart right there. And I was looking at it. This opposition is at 8 degrees. 8 degrees is that degree of responsibility. But it's not responsibility as the world says. It's responsibility as in, I will heed, I will listen to the calling of my soul and respond in a way that's true to that. So just to have that connection of Lilith and Uranus, even though throughout the day, we're going to see them moving apart, the Uranus-Lilith conjunction. Still, it is such an important reminder for all of us to be able to go there. And your Lilith is not going to look like my Lilith, and my Lilith is not here to judge your Lilith. Only we really truly know when we're listening to and honoring that light and that energy, but this is a call to it. Now, that being said, you may find triggers around that popping up. So be aware of worth stuff. Be aware of those places where you've been told to be quiet or brush your hair, or your hair can't be that color, or whatever. I don't know why it's always a hair thing. But that's been such a symbol of power through so many lifetimes as well. So just be very aware of that through the day, those triggers coming up, because that may be showing you where you have some personal Lilith rehabilitation, redemption, rebellion, freedom to be doing on yourself. So powerful energy with that. And then speaking of all that, then we have the moon shift into Capricorn. And like even Capricorn, it's so interesting. So we align Capricorn with the sign of the goat, which is the mountain goat. It can climb any mountain, it can conquer any challenge. And yet the original glyph for Capricorn is a sea goat. This fantasy creature, this mermaidy, goatish thing. It's like half goat, the top half is goat, and the other half is fish. And we've kind of pushed that sea goat away to make way for, you know, this upstanding animal of the community. And that's what we've kind of done to the energy of Capricorn. We took the energy of Capricorn, we made it into this energy of conditioning. This is what society says. This is how you be an upstanding member of society. I'm using my Saturn voice right now. So we want to be very aware of this energy through the day, where we keep feeding into the mountain goat mentality, which, let's be fair, there's nothing wrong with the mountain goat. The mountain goat has climbed many mountains and is very good for it. And yet we can't forget the original, the sea goat, and that calling within ourselves. This even goes back to the new moon, that Sabian symbol, the calling within ourselves to remember the creature of fantasy that we all have within us. So remember that through today, even as you're going through the motions and living your life in the world. Where is the sea goat calling you? Where is that Lilith energy calling you forth to honor yourself on a deeper level? So moon shifting into Capricorn, 8:35 a.m. Pacific time. So anytime we have the lunar shift, sometimes we can feel our energy kind of dip a little bit. This is on top of the Mercury Uranus energy, which could, if we're not feeling like very grounded, make us tired and wired. So the first part of the day may feel a little like weird, half like meh, and other half, can I just go lie down? And then we have the moon later in the day actually connecting into the Lilith, Uranus, Mercury energy. We'll have a sextile with Mercury and a trine with that Uranus. So even the Capricorn energy is like, can I get on board? Can I get on board this shift? Can we liberate the Capricorn energy from needing to follow the rules that were set by who? And liberate it into that soul responsibility. So it's you know, overall, besides some triggers, pretty chill astro through the day, and yet there's this deeper calling of breakthrough. And I also feel like all of this is kind of put into motion from that Pluto-Jupiter Pallas conjunction that we had just a few days ago. So I'm going to leave that there. I do have a few cards. Again, the conditioning card, and watch the conditioning of our mind. Like, that's the biggest thing, is that so much of this conditioning has affected how we think. And so we really need to look at how we're thinking about things, how we're thinking about ourselves, how we're thinking about our own personal Lilith energy within us. And then we have the innocence card, reclaiming the innocence of Lilith. It's frustrating to look online and do searches about Lilith because she's become a demon that steals children, again, for just wanting to walk her own way, which, again, so many figures in history have been maligned because of wanting to walk their own way. So this is reclaiming that innocence. Oh, wrong card. The innocence of that energy within yourself, reclaiming even the dream of like the power of that energy within yourself. But do watch those mind games around that. We've been very trained in those. I also have the stress card, so watch the overdoing, watch the taking on too much. I think that's also part of that energy. In order to find ourselves worth it, we take on so many levels, so many layers of things. What can you put down today so that you can honor the truest level of your energy? So a little bit of a different scope, but the ahas were coming through, so I had to honor them. So you can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and stay curious. Namaste.